Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Lily L, and today's Soft Girl Secret is healing isn't crying, it's choosing better. So, healing has become one of the most aestheticized words on the internet. Healing playlist, healing captions, healing tears on camera, healing conversations that go on for years. And I want to say something gently, but very clearly. Healing is not expression alone. Because if healing was just talking, most people would already be healed, but they're not. And I know this because I lived it. There was a season where I could explain my pain perfectly. I knew the language, I knew the psychology, I could articulate where my wounds came from, why I reacted the way I did, why certain patterns repeated. I could tell you the story beautifully. But what changed my life wasn't just simply changing. My outcomes weren't changing. My emotional reactions weren't changing. My standards weren't changing. And that's when I had to face a very uncomfortable truth about myself. Here's where self criticism takes over. And I'm saying this as a woman who teaches confidence, not from above you. I confused awareness with healing. I thought that because I understood my wounds, I had outgrown them. I thought that because I could name my triggers, that I was evolving. But I wasn't evolving. I was adapting. I was learning how to survive inside the same emotional framework instead of leaving it. And that's when I realized something that changed everything for me. If your choices haven't changed, your healing hasn't integrated. Healing is not loud, it doesn't announce itself, it doesn't need witnesses. Healing shows up in what you no longer tolerate. As a feminine confidence and beauty consultant, I see this constantly. Women who look radiant on the outside, polished, groomed, beautiful, but internally they are still choosing from pain, from fear, from familiarity. They say they're healing, but they're still explaining themselves to people who misunderstand them. They say they're healing, but they're still overextending to feel chosen. They say they're healing, but they're still attracted to chaos because calm feels so unfamiliar. And I say this with compassion, not judgment, because healing is uncomfortable in a very quiet way. Healing doesn't feel dramatic, it feels boring, it feels lonely, it feels like choosing differently without applause. There was a moment, even in my own life, where I realized I was more comfortable talking about healing than actually doing it. Because doing it meant disappointing people, doing it meant letting go of familiar dynamics. Doing it meant accepting that some versions of me had expired, and that's not glamorous. But that's where real femininity is born. Healing is not crying every time something hurts you. Healing is noticing the hurt and then choosing differently next time. Healing is not journaling about the same wound for 5 years. Healing is refusing to reopen it. Healing is not explaining why you're sensitive. Healing is protecting your sensitivity. And once I understood that, my entire relationship with femininity shifted. My softness became quieter. My reactions became slower. And my boundaries became firmer without becoming harsh. I stopped needing closure conversations. I stopped needing validation for my decisions. I stopped needing people to understand why I changed because healed femininity doesn't argue, it just moves. And this is where beauty becomes something deeper than appearance. Glow is not makeup. Glow is nervous system safety. Glow is self trust. Glow is emotional restraint. You can always tell when a woman has healed, not by how much she talks, but by how little she tolerates. She doesn't chase clarity. She doesn't over explain. She doesn't stay where she has to convince. She chooses better. And choosing better doesn't always feel good at first. Sometimes it feels empty. Sometimes it feels like grief. Sometimes it feels like boredom. But boredom is often peace in disguise. So when I say healing isn't crying, it's choosing better, I'm not dismissing emotion. I'm refining it. So cry if you need to. Feel what you need to feel. But then ask yourself the real question: what am I choosing differently now? Because healing that doesn't change behavior is just storytelling. And if you deserve a life that reflects your growth, not one that keeps rehearsing your pain over and over and over again. If you're ready to heal in a way that actually changes your life, subscribe. This channel is about embodied femininity, not emotional performance. So comment below embodied femininity. And remember, ladies, to stay soft, stay intentional, and stay prepared. Until next time, ladies, bye bye.